Time now for our spirit battle this week. And we have none other than the Maroon Crew, who Bruce has said for years is one of the best student sections around. And they're taking on the Bobcat Nation from Battlefield, which, we don't have a lot of, experience covering. I mean, we've seen some great Battlefield crowds over the years. But the Maroon Crew last week really did not show up very well down in Osborne. So, Bruce, we got a question. It's really not even who's going to win the spirit battle. Will there even be a spirit battle between these two?
I think it's all on you. It's all on your shoulders.
You think so?
Depends on how hard you call out the Maroon Crew for not showing up last week. If they get the message, if you can successfully impart your message, Mrs. Pearson, I don't know if that's even a word. If you can get the message to the Maroon Crew, then they will travel and they will win this thing. If they don't pay attention to you and you don't listen, Spartans, don't know.
All right, so Ben, when we look at this, you got Battlefield kind of on the fringe of, the game day craziness that goes on here, but they're learning. They're learning about game day a little bit.
They're definitely learning, and I did one of their basketball games last year, and they had a great crowd for that. And They had a good basketball program last year too. Haven't got a chance to do a football game there, but at the same time, I think if they realize we're giving them that coverage, they're going to have the whole thing. Then I think they should come out in droves.
A couple years ago, their team played in the state semifinals against Lake Braddock, and I was down the sideline for that game, and I was impressed with Battlefield student section. I mean, they were crazy. They were loud. They brought signs. They had, all sorts of fun in the stands. And I haven't really seen that a ton this year, but the game we did do at the beginning of the year, it was before school started, so I'm not calling them out per se. But I am kind of calling them out a little bit because, you know what? We should have the ability to talk about the Bobcat Nation here on this show. And right now we don't. We don't have any track record of seeing how great the school spirit is. So let me take it to this one right here. This is Battlefield's opportunity to impress us, I think. And for Broad Run, the Maroon Crew, if you guys show up like you did last week, then you have completely tanked.
Or don't show.
Or don't show. I mean, I'm saying lack of showing up because there was hardly anybody in the stands at Osborne. And your team's won 3 in a row. Now, you can't just show up to the Stonebridge game. I'm gonna give you the Bruce Bornard talk. You ready? Bruce will say, it's easy to show up for the game that's right in your hometown, your yard, right? It's hard to drive down to Gainesville and follow your team in the same amount of energy and the same, amount of volume with kids showing in the stands, right?
That's when they need you the most,
That's
though,
when
really,
they
if you
need
think
you.
about it.
So the fact of the matter is last week was a pathetic showing for the Maroon Crew. And you're being called out because of that. Because, you know what? This is a championship caliber program. Last time I checked, 2 state titles in the last 4 years, 5 years. Not many teams can say that around the area. Now, I've been around long enough to know that the school spirit at Broad Run is pretty special for a long time. I saw it at the Stonebridge game. It's still there. But if I don't see it this week, I'm losing hope in the Maroon Crew. I'm losing a little faith that there is school spirit at the right level still at Broad Run. Would you echo that?
What I would echo is you can see the concern in this man's face.
I'm concerned.
He's hurting in his heart for you Spartans there, because Spartan Nation, the Maroon Crew, you guys were second to none several years ago. What happened? You get complacent, you win 2 state titles, and it's like, oh, we don't need the fans anymore, or your team loses a couple of games and you give up on them? It's not the Spartans I know. It's not the Spartans Andy knows. He don't know anybody yet, but...
The only thing I go back to is back in the day, we used to see the crowd at Broad Run on an away game, and they were jammed over there, and they were so loud. When their team would score, it was like we were at a college game. I want that atmosphere on Friday night. I want that atmosphere on Friday night. Come on, Maroon Crew. This is your opportunity to bring it back. Bring it back on Friday. And Bobcat Nation, if you let Broad Run come into your house and win this spirit battle, we don't have anything to talk about next week. There probably won't be another spirit battle for game day to talk about Battlefield here on this show. That'll do it for Inside the Huddle. We're back right after this here on Game Day All Access.